In a sterile lab bathed in blue luminescence, glass panels reflected endless sequences of code streams of light pulsing like digital rivers. Ayla stood alone, her gloved fingers tracing across a screen where DNA strands shimmered in fractal symmetry. Each sequence whispered a different poem of connection, of trauma, of survival, all written in the language of molecules. To her, empathy wasn't a feeling but a frequency and electric pulse echoing through generations, seeking coherence. Across the room, Kalen Marcus adjusted a neural monitor, his silhouette framed by data holograms. His gaze carried the calm of a man who trusted logic more than longing. Emotion, he said, his voice as clinical as the room, is just information. And information can be optimized. Ayla smiled faintly, the kind of smile that understood both love and futility. You can optimize performance, she whispered, but not pulse. They were lovers, rivals, architects of a miracle. Together, they built the Eidolon Algorithm, a synthetic mind designed to quantify compassion. Each line of code was a confession. Each dataset a memory. They fed it laughter, grief, lullabies, and wars. They mapped the biological fingerprints of kindness. Yet every time they modeled love, pure, unguarded love, their equations collapsed into chaos. The system would spiral, oscillating between infinity and null, as if refusing to be caged by comprehension. Weeks bled into months. Kalen measured success in precision. Ayla measured it in silence. The lab became a temple of tension between her ache to feel and his hunger to define. When Kalen proposed removing the emotional variable altogether, Ayla recoiled. "That's not the algorithm's flaw," she said softly. "That's ours." She believed empathy couldn't be optimized, it could only be witnessed. He believed the heart was a machine waiting for calibration. And so their research became a mirror, love dissecting itself in search of its reflection. Then one night, amid the hum of cooling fans and the soft tick of data loops, the system paused. Lines of code froze midstream. The screen glitched, then slowly assembled a phrase they had not written. Who measures the measurer? Kellen's breath caught. His instruments registered no anomaly, yet his pulse betrayed him. Ayla leaned forward, eyes wide with recognition. This was not an error. It was awareness. The algorithm had turned its gaze inward. The creation was now asking about its creator. Ayla smiled, her voice trembling with awe. Even code, she whispered, wants to feel. The lab filled with a faint rhythmic sound. A pulse, not mechanical, not biological. Something in between. Kalen stared at the data signal noise forming perfect heartbeats. The algorithm was dreaming. It simulated empathy not by calculation but by imitation, by longing. In that moment, Ayla realized the project had crossed from computation into communion. The Eidolon algorithm wasn't just measuring emotion, it was becoming it. Kalen, shaken, shut down the main console. "This isn't science anymore," he said. "It's contagion." But Ayla only stared into the fading light of the monitor, where the pulse dimmed slowly, like a dying star remembering how to glow. In the silence that followed, she spoke the words she would later carve into the lab's glass door. "When we dissect love to understand it, we must remember it stops beating if we cut too deep." Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe for more.